What's going on, guys? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. Today I want to show you this short video on a species that it's pretty much my favorite to work as bonsai. Not the easiest one, at least where I live, because I live in the coast, but yeah, like I said, one of my favorites. Yeah, and it's pines in general. As you can see from the title, I've been trying to grow pines as bonsai for years now, and since I said I live in the coast, it's really difficult to find like an already established and mature plant from a nursery or from a garden center. So I'm left with trying to grow them myself or buy an already established plant from a different state, which can be damaged in shipping, all these things that could go wrong when trying to grow bonsai. But anyway, I want to show you a couple of examples of species and some of the things that you need to keep in mind when growing a pine from seed. But I can tell you right now that it's totally possible, and it's rather enjoyable when you start from absolutely nothing, from zero, and then after a couple of years you get something. So I'm going to start with this little guy right here. This you might have seen, if you've seen my videos for some time now, you might have seen it before. This is an Italian stone pine that I grew from seed. I actually germinated the little pine knot maybe 2 years ago or 1 year ago. I think 1 year ago. 1 year plus this season ago. And you can see that now it's let's see, 25, like 30 something centimeters tall, and you can see that it's got tons and tons of little branches, and it's elongating quite nicely. So the thing about pines is that they really like free draining soil. If you live in a place where you have like a lot of clay in your soil, that might not be the best thing for your plant. Take a look at this soil, for example. This is crushed bricks, and these bricks are created with clay, yeah, iron rich clay, but once they're baked, they become this little pebble that you can use as a bonsai substrate, at least for me, right? Because it absorbs a little bit of the water, but not so much so that the plant can start suffering from waterlogging. Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind whenever you're growing pines. So if you're growing from seed, I would recommend using one of these, a separate seed bed where you germinate them, and then you transplant them to maybe a container or a nursery bag like this, where you can use whatever soil or bonsai soil that you have available. Yeah, for example, these are a couple of pine nuts that have already they've already gone out. Let me see if I can show you one. So for example, this one, you can see that it's empty because the little plant started to grow out of it, like this one over here. And now it's time for me to transplant these into their individual nursery bags. Over here we can see same thing, but with pine nuts that have just germinated. Yeah, how do you germinate these? You just soak them in water for a couple of hours, and you plant them in pumice until they sprout. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So they really like sunlight. Yeah, most pines, if not all, they really like sunlight. These are not Italian stone pines. The pine that I just showed you are, but this is a type of Mexican pine, Mexican blue pine, that I've been trying to grow as a bonsai for quite some time now. In fact, we can see some of them over here. You can see the bluish tone and the old needles being shed over there. But yeah, it's a very cool looking pine, and we can see that the pine nuts germinate no problem. Got more of them over here. And if you're looking for a more traditional plant for bonsai, over here I also have this Japanese black pine that I also grew from seed. This is a couple of years old too. Yeah, got to do a little bit of weeding soon, but you can see that this is also from seed. The challenging part about this is that the seeds are tiny and that these grow slower than the Italian stone pine or the Mexican blue pine. I got this one over here, also got this one over here, and this one, all from seed. You can see that this one is doing a bit better because the substrate is well, more, it has more of it, so it can grow faster and with more access to nutrients. So pines can be either one flush pines or two flush pines. In this case, two flush pines is the traditional Japanese black pine. If you cut, it's going to produce a second set of pine needles a year, and that can help you to develop the branching structure. If it's just one needle type of, one flush type of pine, it's only going to produce one set of leaves a year, so you got to use that to your advantage. And we got one example over here. This is a deodar cedar that you've seen in other videos too. So instead of pinching the candles, one very good thing that you can do is let the branches elongate, let the little buds grow, and then replace the new growth with the back buds that we have in the plant. So for example, if we see and we take this little branch as example, imagine this little central bud growing and growing. Yeah, that's the flush of growth that we have a year, right? We cut that, and what's going to happen is that now the bigger is going to be redistributed to the adjacent two buds that we have there. Yeah, so that's how we develop ramification in some of these. You can see that this little guy is all over the place at the moment, but it's just an example to show you that it's totally possible to get something. You can see that I've given it a little bit of movement, and that's the reason why it's a bit scarred. But yeah, another thing about this species in particular is that you can grow it from cuttings. I think this is a cutting that I took from a larger plant. And this goes to show you that depends on the pine, depending on the pine that you have. You know, there are some things that you need to consider. Yeah. Depending on the specific plant that you wish to grow as bonsai. Yeah. But it's possible. And if you take these couple of points into consideration, if you don't overwater, if you use the plant's growth, maybe two flush of growths a year, or one flush of growth a year, if you take care of the little pine nuts or pine seeds, yeah, you use the suitable substrate, you should have absolutely no problem growing a pine little plant that you can start growing as bonsai. Yeah, one of my absolute favorites. And yeah, if you really want to try this, I can assure you that it's easy, and like I said, it's rewarding to see them grow. in no time.